Good evening, everybody. Unusual. We're in an unusual place tonight. Get rid of that. Sorry. We're in an unusual place tonight because my Yamaha microphone has decided to disappear, be unavailable to the general Windows use. And it did it about 10 minutes ago, so I haven't got time to find out why. So we'll switch to mic 2. Mr. Rode. Unfortunately, it's going to go right through the stuff I'm going to show you. So we'll play some shenanigans with that. We'll get it going. So evening, everybody. Good evening, Mum. Hi, Anders. Hi, Pyro Brewer. Hi, Benny. Watching this tomorrow. Hi, Julian. I've been looking at some of your Instagram posts, Julian. You get around, man. You really do. We must catch up one day. We really must. So anyway, I hope the audio's all right. It sounded all right when I had a quick listen to it earlier. As a matter of fact, it sounded better than the damn Yamaha. I think we might be accommodating this a little better. Hi, Will. Been an interesting week. Did a couple of videos over the weekend. Hi, Grunt. I watched your video. I cannot believe you sent that poor little drone out that far all by itself. It must have been scared. Hi, Karen. Yeah, but good work, man. I've got to sit down one day in a park by myself and learn how to fly that damn thing to do what you did with that, because it's great. Yeah, look, I know this sounds pathetic, but I've had several mic stands and they were all a waste of money. This Rode is just the best because you can't hear it. You wouldn't think you can hear a mic stand, but you can. These things have got springs and little clips and little things in them, whatever. And they bloody will vibrate with your voice and they induct into the mic and you can hear them. This thing is all dampened and it's really nice. I should have bought it to start with. I probably spent more money on shitty ones that were cheaper. I think this was about $200. I should have just bought it to start with. Not to worry. Let's put the chat up so you can see each other for now. See, there's the problem. There's the problem. Actually, I think I can get around that. I think I can. Let's be Trevor. Hang on. Let's be Trevor. Ink. No, come on. Let's be Trevor. What happened there? I didn't actually move it, did I? Ha! We got this. Don't worry about that. Thanks, Grotto. I appreciate it. Yeah, look, this is the mic I record all my stuff on. As you can see, it's got the skin of a dead cat I found on the side of the road somewhere wrapped around it to cut down the Don't really need it anymore. I've got an AI filter that does a way better job of that. It'll dig sound out of. You would just believe what it'll dig sound out of. It's amazing. Human voice in particular. Anyway. Yeah, Aussie mate. Look, Rode is an absolute success story. I'm just so proud to have their gear. I go out of my way to buy it. That little mic you see on my lapel, that little lav mic I've got, is a Rode. Awesome gear. It really is. As much as I'd love to buy their wireless mics, that's a little too tasty for me, and I don't need them anyway, so I don't really bother. So what are we doing tonight? Well, we'll talk about videos I did over the break, I think, since the last Tuesday. I did a video on Burley Heads, lava to latte, which that's what struck me as. It's just got the most amazing sort of, I don't know, bohemian cafe culture. At 200 yards away, there's 23 million year old lava hexagons that are a metre across. It just seemed interesting to me. Rob and I had a wander around there. Yeah, it's some sort of filter. Stops all that. Just reminds my cat to behave. This is what will happen to you. The product from Rode, by the way, is called a dead cat. That is its name. If you go to the Rode catalogue, the dead cat, it's one of these. It's a fur filter. And the little tiny ones to go on your little labs are called dead kittens, which is really cruel, but hey, you didn't have to tell me the name twice. I remembered it. Done its job. So yeah, we did the, Rob and I did that walk through the various places down there, and that was what I came out of that with. Unfortunately, my camera wasn't performing the way I wanted it to because I hadn't read the instructions, pretty much. Not really, but I didn't understand its limitations. It was unbelievably dark in those forests. like really dark. Rob's camera performed beautifully. You see Rob's shots, they're clear. There's no graininess in them. Mine are murky because, first of all, the lens covers were wet, and I put some Rain-X on them, which I thought would negate the need to wipe them all the time. Completely wrong. You live and learn. And you really can't see it when you're out there. You can only see it when you get back and you look at the footage, you go, oh man, that's all murky. And that great big spider. Rob don't like spiders. A lot of people don't like spiders. I don't care one way or the other, Adam. They don't worry me. But certainly, yeah, that was a big spider. It was like the size of my hand. It was a beaut. Say Rob was about 20 metres up the track. He had some pictures of that. Yeah, I did. And that was shit. I really apologise to him because he wanted them, I know, but the way it is. Hi, Alicia. So, yeah, it was an interesting video. It hasn't done particularly well, but I never sort of expected it would. It's very glitchy. But people will watch it over time. The Olympic Village ones hit about 4,300 views or something, which is quite nice. The Croc one's pretty weird. It's just slowly climbing like that. It's not done the usual pop, die. This is doing the slow climb. Where am I? Over here. Slow but sure climb to altitude. See what happens. Lots of interesting comments on those videos. Not all of them are complimentary, but hey, can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. Some of the locals up there tell me, they swim in that river all the time. Safe as houses. Really. I didn't even talk about the bull sharks, did I? I was very good. I didn't even mention them. And yeah, they're worth mentioning. Horrible little things they are. Not that little, some of them either. So anyway, that's the videos in the weekend. They've been pretty good. Bit of fun. Working on the Warrum bungles. That's still going. It's, of course, another rabbit hole. Or should I say, borehole. I've got some of that for you tonight to have a look at because it's just interesting. It's just interesting. So who have I said hi to? Hi, Mum. Hi, Michael. Hi, Midori. Hi, Bob. If you're not watching, why not? And Gavin. Darren, the bus driver, who pulled me up the other day and said g'day. Great to hear from you. Really was. Do you have a YouTube channel, mate? Yeah, I do. Are you T-Rox? Yes, I am. Loving it. I missed the train this morning because someone was talking to me out in front of Toowong Station. Oh, mate, saw your video on such and such. I said, that's really good. Oh, I always stop. I talk. You get upstairs. Boom, bye-bye train. 20 minutes late. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Yeah, look, Burley's lovely, Nathan. It really is. The walking trails are good. They're not steep. They're very well maintained. Easy to get to on both ends. I probably wouldn't come to it. The end that we were on is pretty nice. Little car park there. I don't know how busy it gets. We were there on a rainy weekday. It was pretty good. So, the one thing I didn't mention in that video, got to hold something back for the live stream. Where am I? I'm lost today. There. Got to hold something back for the live stream. I didn't mention that little beach just as we walk in. Little tiny beach is called Echo Beach. There you go. As we know, Echo Beach is far away in time. Hi, Boots. Yeah, I don't know. I think Rob's stalking me, mate. He's stalking me. He's after my subscribers. I don't think so. Oh, no, Rob and I just have common interests, and we end up going places. That was all one day. So that's why it all looks like we were together a lot. Well, in my video, it looks like in his video, it's just one video. In mine, it's 4. So, yeah, I got to get some mileage out of my footage, man. Too good to just use once. So, yeah. And a very lovely comment from someone about Fingal Head. About Fingal Head, just further down the coast. Another big set of those hexagonal polygon. I cannot say the word polygonal, that thing. Heaps of them. And there's an island offshore made out of them as well. So I might go down there and take some video of that at some stage. I'm going to catch up with Greg. I think you saw Greg in the intro, those of you who were here for the intro. It's so not only can the guy cook and eat, he's a rocker. Hey, Marty. Yeah, that's right, man. Far away in time. It's and I noticed in that video, Greg, if you're watching, you're left-handed. Well done. Well done. Anyway, you got to have a go, mate. That's what it's all about. I quite like that song. It's all right. Let's see who gets the copyright tomorrow when the algorithm goes through. I hope it's you. It's on some. I tried to play one of my other mates' tunes that's about 25 years old, and I do it by uploading it and then letting the copyright algorithm run over it. And it was a performance of Have You Ever Seen Rain by Dave Ritter and Vanetta Fields from the Drought Aid thing. And Dave Ritter's a mate of mine. And it was claimed by a band called the Moonlighters from Brazil, from a Brazilian. So someone has gone in, found that thing, hasn't got a claim against it, and just illegally claimed it. And he doesn't care. It's 20 years ago, 30. Ever watch it? Have you ever seen Rain? You'll just look at the haircuts. You'll see how old it is. Must be Tuesday night, Marty. Pizza night. Way to go. Martha with the muffins. That makes me hungry. Anyway, so what are we going to do? Well, I haven't run that by Lorna yet, Rob. I will when she gets back from work. She's working at 11 o'clock tonight, so on my own. What are we going to look at tonight? Well, we've got to work out all these layers now because I've got this bloody microphone, but hey, let's give it a go. See what we can do. So, of course, I'm going to turn off the camera and the chat briefly. I'll keep the audio going, obviously, because we've got an election this weekend. And remember, I can't not do it. I just can't. Because he will never give you up, let you down, run around, desert you. He'll never make you cry, say goodbye, tell a lie, or hurt you. So remember, vote one. Rick Ashley, don't do that, for Christ's sake. If you've got to vote, don't waste it. Sorry. I was scrutineering for the Liberal Party 25 years ago up in Ipswich, and there were still people writing no dams on their ballots. Now, that no dams election was a long time ago. They're still doing it. So, good on them. Way to go. So, what are we going to look at first? I think, first of all, we'll have a look at this. But first of all, we'll get it in the right layer. So I had all these layers ready to be very clever, and now we're going to have to run them forward because it's all going to be wrong. Sorry, peeps. Let me come off this. Learn how to use my shit. Hang on, what we should do is drag that down there. That'll work. So these things can come over the top of me. That works better. I got this out of the whatever this week, some of the press. Yeah, Nathan, I bring it up every time there's an election. I can't help it. Rick don't look like that anymore, but like all of us, you're getting older. Still looks damn good, though. Looks better than I do. So this came from some press. I can't remember what it was. But it looks plausible. I believe it to be true. This is a persistence of snow in the Himalaya and the Hindu Kush, and it's really bad. There is no snow going from one year to the next. It's the lowest it has ever been, or lowest it's been in 23 years. They've been keeping records of this accurately. And so what's happening is the snow is just melting away. And the next year, there's fresh snow and everything. It's not like that, but it's just, snow is a form of precipitation. And of course, snow has the added bonus of melting. So it's not a bad litmus of the temperatures, and the temperatures are increasing up here. It only takes a few fractions of a degree, and it makes a difference to this count. So, yeah, that graph, I'm going to keep an eye on this in the future because it looks pretty wild to me. Pretty damn wild. Obviously, that's some fairly snowy winters, and there were some very dry summers up there. So, and of course, that snow melts, and it's the water for millions of people to survive on. So, when I saw that, I went, "Wow, that's pretty interesting." Or maybe not. So, what do we got here? This is a coal mine. A very small coal mine, but a very cool coal mine. This is at Narrabri. Speaking of Warrumbungles. We're at the top, a little way away from the Warrumbungles here. Narrabri's a cool town. And this is a cool little coal mine. It's an underground mine. You notice there are no open cut pits here. There are shafts going into the ground. Let's get Peter. Peter the pointer. He's probably in the wrong layer now. Peter is probably in the wrong layer. Oh, no, he's all right. So these are the conveyors, the shafts going down here. There's another one here, another one here. Production shafts over here. This is how they get the coal out of the mine, the men in and out of the mine. But this is a longwall mine. Now, if you're going to have an underground mine, if you're going to have an underground mine, if you're going to send human beings under the ground to dig this shit out, a longwall mine's probably the safest way to do it. Strangely enough, it also has the least environmental impact on the surface, because you're not digging out billions of tonnes of overburden, moving it aside, digging out a few million tonnes of coal, then putting it all back again and moving it along. Longwall mining is very, very efficient, but like all coal mining, it's dangerous. In the video, there'll be an example of longwall mining, and it's just, it's just, they deliberately cave the mine in behind them as they go. That's all I'll say. There'll be more. So that's a nice little underground mine just at Narrabri. And this is a layout of the actual mine. So the gubbins we just saw before is this here. So underground there are big shafts. This is three-dimensional, obviously. And this area here that's in grey is called gold. And it's where the miners already fell in. They've let it fall in. So they go in and they mine out with the longwalling machine, and they're working, these are the areas they're working now. They mine out everything. They don't leave any pillars, and they deliberately let it fall in behind them. And this is their area, it's goafed, not gold, goafed, sorry. It's been goafed. And this is the new area they want to do here. So they get the coal out, don't worry about that. And because they only mine the rich seams, there's a lot of seams left there that they can still do CSG on later on. And they do. There's a CSG field just in here, a little one. So that's the Narrabri coal mine. There's a few longwall mines in the Hunter Valley. There's a lot of longwall mines in the Hunter Valley. This particular one, you can't see, that I can see anyway, using satellite resources, any of the longwall drops. But if you go to the Hunter Valley, you most certainly can. There's some of those paddocks, you look out across them, you can see the drops in the paddocks where the longwalls have dropped, and it's made it through to the surface. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So, what's this? Ooh, that's a drilling rig. What do drilling rigs do? Well, they drill holes. And they're going to drill some holes up here. This is the Pilliga Forest. To put it in perspective, these are the Warrumbungle Ranges we're going to be focusing on in my video. Down here. Coonabarabran, beautiful little town. You drive through the Pilliga when you come out, and up top here, a little town called Narrabri. That coal mine we just looked at is just here. And I just want you to get this bit in perspective, because I'm going to show you a map of this in a minute, because this is where Santos want to drill over 800 CSG wells, because this coal goes under all of this, all of it. These Warrumbungles volcanoes busted through the coal. We discussed that last week. They busted through this structure, all this sandstone here, and under that is coal. The same, very similar age to the Ipswich deposits. All right, so let's have a look at this. Now, to be real, this is an artist's impression. They did not get hold of the plans from Santos, but they know the area that they are allowed to drill in, which is this area here, which is the top section of that forest. It just goes up to here, that's that top bit. There's Narrabri, the township there. There's a coal gas power station there, a nice little one to run the town on, which is good to see. And with 800 and, 850 CSG wells, this is how they have to sort of be. They might be in better rows than this, I don't know, but that's an awful lot, man. That place is going to get peppered with these things. So, as if I'm not down on CSG, not when it's done properly. Not too sure that's going to happen here. We'll see. Santos. So what are they going to do with this gas? Well, they're going to build a pipeline from Narrabri to Newcastle. And it's going to drop off at Bayswater, which is good because there's a big power station there being built for gas. So that's a good thing. And there's also a power station down here in Newcastle that uses gas, but it's going to the port. They're going to be exporting this shit. Buy the petajoule or whatever it is they sell it in. I can't remember what they sell it as now. So I was looking at the chat. Maury. I've only ever gone through Maury. I've always just gone through Maury, gone straight over to Goondiwindi and gone to the big servo over at Goondiwindi. That massive big servo on the outside of town there. I love it. I haven't been there for a few years though. I put some cameras in there about 3 years ago. They were recording number plates and reading, AI reading number plates of people coming in and out of a fuel depot. Because, some of the locals were just helping themselves to the diesel. But not for long. They let them take it. They just sent them a bill for it. So when you see, and you see this a lot, you see these flare-offs, as they call them, all the way along. And you go, well, that's a flare-off. Yeah, that's obviously part of the deal. I'm just reading the chat. Sorry, top for me now. Yeah, look, I've driven the Pilger a lot. I used to drive from Wagga to Queensland and leave Wagga at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to drive back home for the weekend. And you're going through the Pilliga in the middle of the night. Narrabri, there's a big servo. Just I speak of this place in servo because that's all I remember. There was a big servo at Narrabri on the outskirts of town too, if I remember. They all got them. They need them. A couple of coffees, cabana, keep going. That's all you can do. So this gas that gets flared off here, for whatever reason, can be safety reasons. Sometimes they use it to heat things. Sometimes they use it to run pumps. They use it to run diesel engines on gas, and then they run things with that, lighting, electricity. This is out in the middle of nowhere. They don't always have power. So you think about this and you go, okay, that's cool. And everything leaks. Gas pipelines leak, joints leak, valves leak. It happens. Gas just burns off. You lose a bit of gas. Well, you do. Now, the industry has a name for this. It's called UAG all over the world. And it's called unaccounted for gas. Yes. Now I thought to myself, unaccounted for? That sounds expensive because this is our gas. We own this gas. We, as in all of us, own this gas. And we're letting these corporations at a fee, a pathetic fee. I think I heard this week we make more, federal government makes more out of the interest on student debt than it makes out of the export of LNG. That just blew my head. I don't know if it's right. It sounds good if you say it fast. There is an election on, so who knows? But my God, if it's true, it's a disgrace. Oh, hi, General Shady. Oh, excellent. That sounds fantastic. We talked about that little pink black rock. Well, I'm going down there again in the next few weeks. Not next weekend. I've got something else to do next weekend. Where the hell is Hay? Hay's on the plane going to Adelaide. The Hay planes. We lost the Mirage on the back of a truck. It was being freighted from a stores depot down to Ardew in South Australia. This is what I believe. And they had the Mirage boxed up on the back of a truck with a tarp over it, and something from the truck set fire to the tarp, and it burnt the Mirage on the back of the truck. That was an expensive night. Very expensive night. Yeah, General Shady, I don't know. But we're getting screwed. We know it. Everyone knows it. It's the not talked about thing. Yeah, let's just drill this shit out of the ground and sell our children's future, because this gas will be important in 50 years, 100 years. It'll be important. It's important now. So let's talk about UAG, unaccounted for gas. Well, I'll tell you a story. Where do you think they meter the gas? Because I did look this up. It's going to be in the video. For the purpose of payment, for the purpose of the excise and duty that needs to be paid, the gas levy, the gas whatever the hell, the rental, whatever the hell they call. Where do you think they meter it? They meter it on the output of the storage facility at the port. So what does that mean? All of this UAG, where's my bloody camera? Oh, God, I'm a spaz at this. All of this UAG here is free. All the gas they use to run their pumps, to run their little gensets, to run their lights, all the gas they flare off, all the gas that leaks, because why would they be bothering fixing it? It's free anyway. Right now, if it gets burnt, it's released as carbon dioxide. If it General Shady, if it gets burnt, it gets released as carbon dioxide. If it gets released as methane, which is way worse. And you go, really? This is a wonderful fuel. It's the cleanest fuel we have available to us at the moment, really. We'll talk about hydrogen one day maybe, but right now it is hydrogen anyway. It's a hydrocarbon. It's the hydrogen we're burning off it. But the thing is that we're just wasting it. Nobody gives a shit about this. You never hear this mentioned. So, if this pipeline we talked about before, this little pipeline here, it's going to go from Narrabri down to Newcastle. Oh, they love it. Newcastle, they love it when you do that. How much gas is going to get leaked or used to run the pumps, run the valves, run the electricity, run the little gensets, whatever? It's all free. Hey guys, have some free gas. Well, I reckon if I went down to the local servo and said, mate, can I get some free gas for my Barbie? The answer would be, hell no. But these guys are getting free gas, whoever they are. And considering most of the gas pipelines in Australia are part owned by Chinese companies, and I'm not knocking the Chinese companies, they didn't set the rules, we did, right? Chinese companies running these pipelines. You go, really, what have we done? When I say we, my generation, the kids, I think they're hip to it. They want to change it. They just don't know where to start. And my generation, Generation 4, just sold this country down the toilet. The Lang Hancocks. I won't say his daughter's name, but we all know what it is. And it just drives me nuts. It just makes me so angry. Because this gas is a gift from, if there's a heaven, it's a gift from it. It really is. So can coal, people, because this comes from coal. But you can still burn the coal after you've released the gas from it. It still burns. You can still mine it. It's not particularly good coal, by the way. If only lithium, if only we could harness that endless source of energy. If only we could find a way to make electricity out of bullshit, we'd be laughing. Absolutely laughing. Yeah, I'm not keen. This election, I've never seen such despondency in everyone go, can we get a none of the above at the bottom? Tick. And if you get too many of them, everyone gets the arse and someone else comes along. Because it really is, there are some good people running for Parliament. Oh, that's not true. There are some good people. Some misguided people. I don't know if any of you have been getting your trumpet of patriot texts on your phone. Now, I did mention Clive. I didn't mention him by name. He's a bit litigious for my liking. But the issue with that is I don't care about who's texting me, and the Liberal Party texts me as well, but they have my number because I used to be a member. I get that. I've never had anything to do with this trumpet of whatevers, and yet my wife and I are both getting texts every day, as you probably all are. The most ridiculous texts too, the dumbest things. Like, how stupid do they think we are? And you go, okay, even if I was thinking of voting for them, which I wouldn't, after this, zero chance ever, and yet they're just spending money. Some money. These texts don't go out for free. They are definitely not free. You have to pay. Not a lot of money, but you have to pay. It's like robocalls. You robocall an old person, mate, you've lost them. They hate it. Me too. I'm an old person. You robocall me, I'm out of there. Don't care who you are. Gone. Oh, Nathan, I get 2 a day. 2 a day. I'm just reading, sorry. Yeah, it's just treated as an endless resource because it comes out of the ground for free. The petroleum guys aren't not much better. If you go out to the Mooney gas fields out west here, there were just areas of just oil just dripping onto the dirt. I think that's all been cleaned up, but even so, I mean, it came out of the ground. Be real, it did come out of the ground. But some of the locals, they had these taps where they'd go along and they could sample what's in the pipe. They'd take this thing, they'd take a Stilson, open this big thing, take a little sample with a cup, close the thing, look at it, go, yeah, that looks all good, no worries, off they go a bit further along. Locals would come along because the oil, some of that light crude out there, you can just burn. The locals would come along, hook a 44 up to it, fill a 44-gallon drum up, take it home, filter the sand out of it, they run their trucks on it. I don't know how to block a text. I've tried. I can block calls, but texts I have problems with. I'll be all over by the weekend. Let's not bother. Get too carried away. Okay, learning anything new or anything. Yeah, no. Who thought of that name? I mean, really? I hope they didn't pay anyone to do that. As much as I'm not a fan of Scott Morrison, even he wouldn't have come up with that rubbish. Not a chance. Do they know psychologically what yellow is to people? Not good. Not good at all. Yes, it is. It really is. It's painful, isn't it? That poor chick up there doing all the talking. On YouTube, she is everywhere. I mean, it is just, I don't see a lot of ads because I've got YouTube Red. But my T-Rox profile does not have YouTube Red because I want to see the ads. I want to see what's coming on. And it's just bam, 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 bam. Wow, someone's paying for it. Wasn't me. A little bit of that ching-ching might come my way. You never know. But anyway. So there you go, folks. I thought we'd have a look at Tokyo. Sun's just set there. The lights are coming on live. It's 19:33 up there, so it's 7:30. Tokyo's gorgeous when the lights are just coming on because they don't all come on at the same time. So the town just sort of grows into existence. And it is surely, if there's a beauty in a metropolis, Tokyo is beautiful. It really is. Yeah. Yeah, well, they run those pumps, those nodding donkey guys. They run on the fuel that's coming out of the ground, the tunk, tunk, tunk thing. Crazy. Anyway. Info and scroll down. Well, thanks, Karen. I'll have a go. I'll block them tonight if I can. Can't remember where I put my phone. Will be good. Hi, Steve. Nice to see you, man. So there's a little... they call that that little train. It's not a train. It runs on rubber tyres. It's a train like the Brisbane Metro is a train. Same thing, but it's driverless. Goes from Tokyo over to the big site via the Rainbow Bridge, which is what that is the entrance to right there. Yeah, Nathan, Shinkansens are amazing. If you go to Japan, you want to go and see the place. The bullet train's a great way to do it, don't get me wrong, but you're going to see a great deal of tunnels. You're going to see a great deal of sound barriers, and you will certainly see some of hi John. You will see some of Japan, there's no question of that, but don't forget to get off the train, because the psychology of a JR pass, which is what a lot of people buy when they go to Japan, they're quite expensive now. The psychology of a JR pass is must use JR pass, must go on train as many places as I can and get my value. And that is, I've done it, but I'm telling you, it's not a great way to see Japan. It's a great way to see a motel room in a city one day, then go to the next city, then the next city, the next city. You've really got to stay in these places for 2 or 3 days. JR passes psychologically don't really, you keep wanting to, I've got to use my pass, man, I've got to use my pass. So you're better off to sort of get a regional pass or just buy a ticket. They are expensive, but if you're going to stay somewhere for a while, it's fine. All the little places you go to, even in Tokyo, you can get for 930 yen or something, I think, Michael. It's 930 yen, I think it is. All day on the above ground, 810 yen below ground. That may have changed. It's been a while since I've been there, but that doesn't change. Prices don't change much in Tokyo, man. It's not a good thing to do if you want to stay in government. Yeah, it's amazing. Certainly the Shinkansens don't, Marty. They're on a wider link, but the Japanese trains are so spacious, and they run the same gauge we do in Queensland. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, look, I've spent quite a lot of time on the northern end of I'm going to say Oahu. That's in Hawaii. On the northern end of Honshu, and in Akita and Aomori, and on the other side of the ditch over at Hakodate. Hakodate is my favourite town in Japan. Both of us just love it. It's a great place. We'll probably go back there soon. Maybe. We'll see. So there's Tokyo. Is there sound on that? Sorry about that. I didn't realise it. Oh, I muted it anyway. Good. And I suppose if we're going to look at Tokyo, we probably should have a look at Brisbane. So there we are. Brisbane Live, of course. Great channel coming out of Bowen Hills. And that is live-ish. Beautiful night out there for those that don't have a window. I do. I can look over my window and see the city from my balcony, actually. It's quite nice. Yeah, Nathan, I don't know. One thing Tokyo has that I was shocked, and Michael hit me to this, was there's a shitload of level crossings still in Tokyo for both pedestrians and for cars. And they have a lot of accidents because they have a lot of trains and a lot of people. They have a lot of accidents on them, which is disappointing because, you know, it's a pretty cool town. It's pretty hip, yet they're killing people on level crossings. And I've got off some stations out in the suburbs of Tokyo, and you step off the end of the platform and the train is right there in your face, and it just leaves across in front of you. Then this little ding-ding stop there. No gates or any sort of safety shit, just ding-ding, ding-ding. And the dinging stops, you walk over. And those trains are quiet. Tokyo is, most of the lines are welded track and all the tracks sitting on rubber. It's very quiet. You wouldn't hear those things coming. They'll just smash you. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'll put the chat back down here, peeps. Sorry about that. Let's put it back for you. There we go. Notice Mama made this bigger. It's not just so you can read it, so I can read it. But yeah, on a TV, you need to make this a bit bigger. A fluffy rabbit on a stick, Steve. Where did that come from? Oh, no. That's what you get for coming late to the party. You don't get the story. I broke my Yamaha. I don't know what, it's gone. The microphone has disappeared out of all device lists. And it was only about 5 minutes before I started, so bugger it. Second mic, frankly, I think it sounds better. I had to listen to it before myself. I think it sounds better, so this might become a permanent feature. And the Yamaha, which I bought specifically to keep noise out of things, might just have to become a camera. It's all right as a camera. I've seen better. I've seen worse. There you go, Steve. Hurt my back the other day. I've been working on these all-in-ones. They're like a laptop, but the big screen, the whole thing, the whole computer one. And they're so stupidly awkward. They're not heavy. They're just awkward. Everything's cantilever at the end of arm's length or whatever. I've done about, between my co-worker and I, we've probably done about 40 of them or something. I'm annoyed. Yeah, I like the sound of it too, Steve. I think it sounds better than the other one. The other one was being a bit too clever. Trying to be a bit too clever. But anyway, we'll be good. I've started researching, and I didn't bring the maps up tonight because I didn't get home till like nearly 7 o'clock, so I ran out of time. But I've had a look through everyone's work on Mount Coot-tha, including yours, Steve. Rob's work on Mount Coot-tha, dodging the dodging the parrot. That's just dodging the parrot and the affluent of the affluent is just the two things, Rob. As far as I'm concerned, that's cool. But there's a lot of people done a lot of work running around Mount Coot-tha looking at gold mines, including Cam. Cam has really run around. He's found like 12 or 13 of them up there. Little scratches in the ground, undocumented stuff, whatever. Well, I've gone back through the historical archives in the Department of Mines, and I found about 14 claims on Mount Coot-tha, and quite a few around the base of Mount Coot-tha. And the ones on Mount Coot-tha are all for gold. The ones around the base are all for silver and lead. So I think there's a story in that nobody's told. So I think we're going to do the story on Brisbane's Mountain of Gold at some stage. I get around to doing it. I've pulled the maps down. GeoRes Globe, Queensland Globe. GeoRes Globe's the sort of geology one version, but it's the same site. Was down all weekend, just dead. Couldn't get into it. Could not get an image, nothing. Great. Who do you ring? Nobody. You wait. It came back up Monday. When whoever got back to work went, oh shit, the site's been down all weekend. Click. Oh, look, it's back. Hopefully it was down for maintenance because they were doing an upgrade because it's been running like absolute shite lately. So slow. I used to do a lot of those 3D fly-throughs in GeoRes Globe where I'd have the LiDAR hillshade wrapped onto the geology, wrapped onto the maps, and we'd just do a little fly around of an object and give you a three-dimensional perspective of where the geology was and whatever. I can barely do them anymore. The site is so stuffed, it's so munted. You can't, it will just stop, freeze, stop, freeze, stop, freeze. By the time you finish, you shoot about 7 minutes of garbage to try and filter out 30 seconds of stuff that looks good out of it, and it still jumps and skips, so I'm over it. Actually, Pyro, I looked at the Gold Creek thing. The problem is there's no claims over there, but there is certainly gold mines up the top. You got to remember, not everybody bothered filling out the paperwork. You know, I've watched Cam's video. He's found mines in places where there are no mines on any of the, no mining leases, no mining claims, which means people just went and dug a hole. Had to go. Why not? And in the very early days, I say 1860s, places like that, most of the mining on Mount Coot-tha was done in the 20th century. But there was some done before the 20th century. And it's fairly, you know, just pretty wild times. You just go out and dig a hole, crush up some rock, take it in, have it assayed. There you go. But yeah, it's certainly a, we'll have a look at it. If anyone knows anyone who is in the Queensland University mine, send me an email. I could just ring them, eh? I probably should. I have a bad attitude towards UQ. I've approached them about 5 times in my YouTube life, which is only about 3 years, and they have ignored me every time. The people who take your call, absolutely lovely, very helpful, but they're generally not so much geological academic staff. They're either students or they're people who are working there in accounting or whatever, administration. And they say, yes, we'll put this through to Professor such and such and we'll get him to call you back. Never hear from them, ever. Never had one word, not an email. I've sent by email, I've rang. I haven't rocked on the door. I should do that, just rock on the door in full kit, full T-Rox kit, with the machete in the back pocket. Right, let me ask some questions. Yet, you bump into a field geologist or a guy out doing a soil test on a building site somewhere and say, g'day mate, they will tell you anything you want to know. They're the nicest people. So there you go. Well, I'm not. My wife probably is. She was actually employed in one of the in a research lab there, and she's probably still got her employee ID and all that stuff. But everyone is employed in that sort of stuff at UQ. Nearly everyone is on grant money. When the grant money runs out, bye-bye job, see ya. Happens all the time. And that is in the political field of, do we support science or do we not support science? One of the big mistakes that Japan made was after World War II, they only did practical science. They wouldn't do any theoretical science. If it didn't make something and you couldn't sell it, they don't want to know about it. Well, that's not a great way to do this. China was doing that for a while, but not anymore. I mean, we see a lot of negative comments about China in the world, and they certainly deserve some of it. There is no question of that. But I watched a video by John Cadogan this week where he went to visit a solar panel factory called Ryzen. Strange name, but Ryzen. And 30% of their staff are involved in R&D. 30%. Now, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive indeed. Because I don't think there's many Australian companies that say they've got 30% of their staff for R&D, unless that is the sole purpose of the company. So, you know, I think this whole idea of buying it cheap, marking it up by 200 or 300%, flogging it as quick as you can, that's been through the world, not just Australia, the United States as well. That's coming to an end. At some stage, you might have to actually add some value to something if you're going to sell it. We will see. Hey, Mr. Freestyle. Well done, man. Well done. Good on you. I would like to get into some of those creeks that feed off the back face of Daisy Hill down towards Shayla Park, but there's just houses everywhere there now, so we'll see. Yeah, look, I pan gold. You're not allowed to pan gold, by the way. It's naughty. It's not allowed. But if you were to, say, be practicing panning, which you could probably do, in Ithaca Creek, down behind the salvos at Red Hill, And when I was practicing panning, there was some accidental little flakes of gold ended up in my pan, which I threw back into the creek. If you believe that, you believe anything. But there is gold in those creeks, albeit very tiny bits. I was absolutely... I took my daughter up to Cedar Creek, up near where Gizmo does his watery thing. And we were just picking a few heavies out from behind some rocks, throwing them through a little tiny pan I carry there. And there was a few flakes of gold in there. And she was absolutely smacked that gold just comes out of the ground. Of course it does. Fantastic. So there we go. Yeah, they don't. There's some big... Queensland is not very friendly to prospectors. Even if you have a prospecting permit, which I do, it is only valid on private property for which you have written, it's in the rules, written permission from the owner to be there, or in one of the designated prospecting areas, of which you and 400 of your closest friends will be there. You can't even use your metal detector sometimes because there's so many bloody metal detectors in the areas. All you're doing is detecting the other detectors. Oh, excellent. Well, if they're digging, go and have a look. When they're not there at night, go to his metal detector, wander around. Mate and I used to metal detect old house sites in Ipswich. This is a long time ago. We had to build our own metal detectors. And we found some pennies and some tokens. Found a lot of nails. And a lot of ring pull can tops. Remember the old pull away? The little ring and the little tail? Oh man, they're still in the environment. They're everywhere. It'll be interesting. One of the issues that I had in that whole area of Daisy Hill was the lantana. It was so thick. There was a few places there, it was like 15, 20 feet high. We'll do that in metric. 4 metres, 5 metres high. It was enormous. And the only way I think you're ever going to get in there effectively, because you start busting through lantana, you're going to start picking up ticks. Right? I'm not real big on that stuff. Some of those things, if you miss one, they can make you seriously ill for a long time. You don't want to get one of those. But I think at some stage, a fire will run through there, either controlled or uncontrolled. It's going to be a lot easier to access. And the old timers, they didn't give a shit. They just burnt it. They just go, oh, you want to get over there? That's a bit thick. Hang on a minute. Let's go and light it up, burn it off. Mate, those bloody, what's it called? Asparagus fern. We used to call them Jesus Christ vines. There was two theories. One, it was because it's what they put around Jesus Christ's head. Or B, they were the words you uttered when you walked past one. They are like absolute scalpels. I've sliced my leg open on those things so many times, you don't even feel it. You look down, you've got a boot full of blood. Yeah, brilliant. Start again. Crazy. So anyway, what's coming up? Well, we've got Mountain of Gold. Brisbane's Mountain of Gold. We'll get that going, I think. Those mining resources I saw were quite interesting to me, so they're probably interesting to other people. All right, Steve. That's all right, Steve. I'm going to shut down soon anyway. I'm bloody tired. I don't need to eat yet. I'm hungry. Although it doesn't look like I need it. I already know that. You have to tell me. Mum, again. Let's just kill Brisbane live. There it goes. We got the dead cat with the road on it. Not a sponsor. Just one more thing I made a note to cover. Just reading that. That looks good, Mr. Freestyle. Where'd I go? Where'd he go? Just remember, heavy stuff. Gold is unbelievably heavy, and it gets into the deepest crevices and cracks. If you think... See, Steve, we'll have a chat. I think we're going to catch up for a beer soon, aren't we? Organising that? Anyway, we'll do that. I think you need... I don't know if you've ever seen a thing which is a... they use them for picking open electrical clips in cars. It's like a scriber that's been bent. The name just went out of my head as I went to say it. That's what you need to get into that rock. The gold is if it's there, it's deep. It's if you think you've scratched the sand away and you just got the bottom bit with the ironstone and whatever, you haven't. Magnetite's heavy. Magnetite's actually heavier than iron, than hematite. But underneath that is the gold. And I always used to use, this sounds a bit weird, if you're finding shotgun pellets, you're probably in the right place. You think of how many shotgun pellets have been sprayed into the sky over Brisbane the last 200 years. Millions of them. And they all end up in the creeks and rivers, and they're not quite as heavy as gold, but they're pretty heavy. You start finding shotgun pellets, you're probably in the right place. Anyway, that's my look at it. I had quite a few shotgun pellets in a little pillbox I found up in Enoggera. Not that I was panning up there, I was just practicing panning, and they fell into my pan. Now, shotgun pellets I took out of the environment because they're toxic. They're made out of lead. Whereas gold, of course, I just put back because that's not toxic. It's toxic if you get caught doing it, I'll tell you that. A few times I've been walking up there and there's been a few blokes just sitting on the side, having a drink, whatever, and behind them is all this shit they're mining. They've just stopped because I've come past, give them a wave, let them go and do what they're doing. Yeah, I always wanted a really good metal detector, but I just feel it's a bit like a 3D printer. It'd take over my life, and all I'd be doing is out metal detecting all the time. It's probably not a bad thing. Anyway, what else was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, you've heard me and John from Gel Builder, and if you know John, he does a lot of great videos around town. Off Track Explorer, Gel Reviews, Gel Builder. There's another one I can't remember. We wear Keen boots, generally speaking. We've been Keen fanboys, right? Now, the one thing about Keens that I've not been a fan of is they don't last. I mean, I'll walk through a pair of Keens in 12 months. They're $400 boots. They're not giving them away. They're comfortable. They grip. They're really good. You don't slip. They're fantastic. However, I bought a pair of Keen walking shoes in September, and I've walked through them. I mean, they are destroyed. And I thought, well, bugger this. That's only September. And I don't want to get rid of these because they've walked on 3 continents with me in them. And I'm really attached to these shoes. But I can't. They're just falling to bits. My feet are going straight through to the end of them. I said, bugger, I'm going to do a warranty claim. So I got on their website. I sent some photos. I might have dropped the fact I had a YouTube channel. Probably shouldn't have, but, I want a result. And they could not have been better to deal with. I got a reply back the next day, said, sorry, those boots do not meet your standards. Unfortunately, we don't have any more. Choose something on our website. I take a size 14, so it cuts down the amount of shoes I can have. And they were much more expensive shoes they were. And I said, yeah, these will do. And they said, fine, we're sending them to you now. You can't ask for better than that. Well, you could. It'd be nice if they actually lasted, but c'est la vie, man. C'est la vie. I'm just reading that. Sorry, mate. Yeah, the World War II spots to be really looked at in Brisbane are Strathpine and probably Wacol. If you watch a video from Cam Carter's Adventures of Cam Carter on the World War II airfield at Wacol, his son was with him, and his son runs a channel that does detecting. And they went out, I can't remember what it's called, the detector or something, I can't remember. But have a look at that. And there's a lot of public land out there you can go detecting on, and they find all sorts of stuff. Usually discarded ammunition, obviously there's that everywhere, it's no big deal, but they found a nameplate, name tag, that sort of stuff. People don't lose their name tags. You do not lose your name tag in the military. So it's very interesting. There must have been a story behind that. So have a look at Cam Carter's video on that. I've done a video on Strathpine, so's he. He might do detecting him. I just did the overall layout of the camp and along, and Cam's gone in and looked at the minutiae, digging the holes, looking at things, found all the bunkers, all that sort of stuff. And also what used to be called Bunya, which is now the Bunya Forest. You might know on the north side there's a thing called the Jinka Track. Now, the forests on both sides of that Jinka Track were used during World War II for training and all sorts of things, so that's worth a look. Hey, Nevs, nice to see you. Anyway, I think we will depart. Michael hates it when I say that. That means department store. Oh, Depato. No, it's not Depato. I do it just to piss him off. Anyway, yeah, look, there's a heap of airfields in the Lockyer Valley, actually. I think that little Watts field up there is an ex-military field from World War II for some degree. A lot of them were bailout for Amberley. If they couldn't land there, they'd land them out there because they didn't want to wreck the main field. Well, look, I don't want to be scrounging. Of course I do. Don't be stupid. Of course I want to be scrounging. My main Keens, my big hiking boots, the high leg ones, the winterised ones, they're okay. They're lasting. They're good. But I don't wear them as much as I used to. I don't do as much walking as I used to because one of my knees is a bit, Konbanwa, Gavin. Konbanwa. Nichiwa. Daytime. Konbanwa. Doesn't matter, mate. It don't matter none. Anyway, Marty, remember me to your friend at Keens. I'll be keen to hear what he's got to say. Oh, it's terrible. For that, I'm going to give you some more Greg. If you haven't watched Greg's channel, you should. He's got several channels, actually. He's got Greg's Music. You can find that. Greg's Kitchen, which is just awesome. And Greg's Gardening channel, which I found recently. So there you go. And he seems like a pretty cool cat. So I'll try to see if I can catch up with him next time I'm down the coast, Marty. Should be fun. Anyway, bye-bye, everybody. Here comes Greg. And remember, the world really is wonderful. I got to stop saying that. Keep rocking. T-Rox is out. Where's Greg? There he is.